Good morning, beloveds. I think I might finally be getting the handle on the Streamlabs on my phone thing. So, I checked Facebook again. Still not supporting landscape, so still doing Streamlabs. All right. So, which is why my running rev page is getting them late, getting them in the evenings, because Streamlabs will only let me stream to one Facebook page. So, all right. It is November 29th. Our title is For the Evening. Our author is Ursula Gestefeld, and this is from The Breath of Life, 1897. So, and anytime I say evening, I tend to slip, my accent tends to slip a little Russian, so if my accent gets a little weird, that's why. So, for the evening. I have received my daily bread from on high, and now I close the door of the outer sense while I digest and assimilate it. I close this door in perfect confidence, sure of the divine protection which never slumbers nor sleeps. I know love is God and is omnipotent and omnipresent. I turn from the objective world to the subjective knowing that I shall find my way, without harm or hindrance, to the green pastures and the still waters of its beloved. No psychic influence can turn me aside from this resting place for the Lord is my shepherd, and the presence only do I serve. I am free from all fear. I am free from all sense of injury. I have no enemies. No one has wronged me. I have in my heart no desire for retaliation. I feel only love for every human being. I go to my rest in the desire to rise from it renewed and invigorated, that I may still minister to my brethren. I have laid aside the garments that belong to the outer world, and I enter the soul world clad in its own raiment, by which those who need me shall know me. I turn out the light of the material world. I see the greater light which guides my footsteps. Its radiance shows me what I still lack and where to find the supply. In this light of God, I take my journey for this night and wing my way to my real home, knowing that I shall find it and bring back from it what the kingdom of this world can never give me. For I go forth with only love in my heart, and this key will unlock all the treasures of wisdom and power and health and peace. The curtains are drawn, the world fades away on the wings of love. I am rising to the heavenly spheres. I hear their far-off music. Well, that was just beautiful. And it reminded me a little bit of the inner healing that we do at the beginning of the Sunday service. It reminded me a little bit of that. It reminded me of the children's prayer that we're taught when we're little bitty kids, to pray before we go to sleep. But it is also an amazing reminder of what we can do before we go to bed, before we go to sleep. It's a reminder that it's a reminder of how good that children's prayer that we were taught as itty bitty kids. Now I lay me down to sleep. That one. That's the one I'm talking about. How important that is, what it can do for us, because if you look at the science on dreaming, one of the things that psychology says about the science of dreaming is that dreaming is our subconscious processing our conscious day. So you can absolutely go to bed with a problem and wake up with a solution. Quite literally. they've demonstrated this. I've demonstrated this. I know this. I have gone to bed thinking about my talk, woken up in the next morning and completely rewritten my talk for whatever service it was that I was giving. And I've done that more than once. Well, once I completely rewrote it and went a completely different direction. Other times I've been inspired, at the last minute because I go to bed thinking about it. And so, and that's one of the things to remember is whatever you go to bed thinking about is you have a high probability if that's what you're going to work on that night. So why not do what Ursula Gestefeld is suggesting? Why not go to bed and think about going to the kingdom? Think about going to the source of your own being. Think about, and whatever it is that you're working on, it's like because in there she says, well, I know how to get there, and the supply of whatever it is that I need will be there, and I can bring it back with me. And so what she is doing is reminding us how important it is, that last thought before we drift off. What is the last thought before you drift off? And maybe it would behoove us to choose the last thought before we drift off. I have in the past been prone to nightmares. I have a very vivid imagination. It is the main reason why I do not watch horror movies. I don't need that in my head because I'm fully capable of making it up on my own. So I don't need additional sources, So I don't watch horror movies. And if you, and I'm not shaming you for watching horror movies. I'm just saying this is why I do not. My brain does not need that extra, fodder. But since I do that, I do consciously choose a lot of the times. Now lately I've been pretty tired, but one of the things that I do, because I do a compression boot right before I go to sleep, like the last 30 minutes. And so I play a cute little game called Cats and Soup. And it's cats making soup. And I can dress the cats up and I can decorate the rooms. But it's something, it's innocuous and it's light and it's fun and, kind of sweet. And a lot of the times my own actual cats will come in and spend a little time with me while I'm in those boots. And so sometimes I'll get tired enough while I'm in the boots that I'll just lay my phone down and then just kind of rest there. And so the last thing I go to sleep with is cats. And it's been a while, not that I'm inviting it, since I've had a nightmare. Every now and again I'll wake up and go, well, I know I had something last night, but I'm not remembering them, and that's okay. So the point of this is that Ursula Gestefeld is reminding us to choose our last conscious thought before we go to bed. And why not make that last conscious thought the thought of going to the source of our own being? Why should the only time we go to the source of our own being is when we pray, when we need something? Okay. Now, if you've been in Science of Mind for any length of time, you know that we believe in praying up. We believe in praying when things are good. We believe in praying pretty much all the time. So we pray when things are good. We pray when things are not good. We pray with gratitude when we've got everything we need. We pray, we treat when there are things that we are not sure about, so she's just adding one more layer on there of, hey, have you considered choosing your last thought before you go to sleep? And one of the things, and we've talked about this, and I think it was kind of what Danielle was talking about a little bit, is consistency. If we do it regularly, I work my mortgage paying job is what I like to call it. I work in a health food store. And the difference between a prescription and a vitamin is that with the vitamins and the herbs, you have to take them consistently for them to work, because all they are doing is providing resources for your body to do its job. That's it's not some magic pill that's going to fix everything. Not that I think prescriptions are either. They need to be managed much the way you would a supplement, but it's consistency. And so if you pray regularly, then when it comes to a time where you need to stop, drop, and roll, you're well practiced in the prayer and you can immediately do it. And so this is another one of those things where consistency is the key. If consistently you go to bed thinking about visiting the source of your own being in the attitude that she is saying, not, coming groveling on your knees, but of walking into your own house, where your supply is, and bringing it back, imagine what you could do. Like, just imagine for a minute where you walk into your own house and go, oh. So I would say the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is just that. Tonight. So I guess it's a mission for tonight, not necessarily for today, but you can think about it. Choose your last thought. Choose your last thought. Choose what it is that you are going to, and why not end with a treatment? Reverend Marsha was a big believer in it's okay to fall asleep during a treatment. Why not try a treatment when you go to bed? And as many of the steps as you want to, as many as the steps you can get through. Or if you go back to the old standby. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Yeah, that one. I was like, I don't want to do the next line because I remember the next line. And I'm like, I'm not sure I remember the ending line. Why not do some little something like that about going to the source of your being, to the source of your supply tonight, and see how you feel when you wake up tomorrow morning. I'd be curious if you'll come back and comment, because I'd like to know. And I think I will try it as well. It's just an experiment. And I would say try it for a week and see how your week goes. So that's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. And because I am familiar with some of the science behind dreaming, I really think that choosing your last thought before you go to sleep is probably one of the most loving, kind, and compassionate things that you can do. Why go to bed thinking about the problems? Why not go to bed thinking about the solutions? Okay? And that's what I mean. It's like, if I have a problem, then it's like, then what I go to bed thinking about is, okay, this is what I'm working on. Now what are the solutions? I don't go to bed thinking about the problem. I go to bed thinking about, well, how can I work this out? So, and that it's the same thing that I'm talking about here. Choose your, and I think, cause I have woken up with the answers, it works. So it's just, that's one of those loving, kind, and compassionate things that you can do for yourself. And my go-to, take a deep breath before you speak to yourself or anybody else, is one of the most loving, kind, and compassionate things you can do. And I have told you why. I also recommend taking naps and walks and breaks and vacations and saying yes and saying no, and remembering that no is a complete sentence. And actually, with us coming into the holiday season, no is extraordinarily important for the reason being is, and it being a complete sentence where we don't have to justify it, because during the holiday season, we're asked to do a lot that we would rather not. And it's okay to say no. And it is okay to say just no. You don't have to explain. No is a complete sentence. But one of the most loving, kind, and compassionate things you can do occasionally is to say yes to something that pushes you a little out of your comfort zone. So try that. All right. Where was I? Ideally, the goal is that everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate. That's the ideal. We'll see. That's why I encourage you to practice it every day. All right. A couple other things that go in the loving, kind, and compassionate. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. And one of the things I like to say is eat dessert first. If you've watched any of this, you know I believe chocolate is the first step to fixing anything. Okay? But on a serious note, what it means is we never know how long we've got. Why not treat our life as a special occasion? Why not make the ordinary extraordinary more often? Why save the good stuff for a special occasion? Why not make the occasion special? I've got all these little fun things that I've started saying recently, and I'm like, I should write them down. So don't save the good stuff. Don't save the good stuff. Use it now. Use it now. All right. And then the last one is, just because the world can be really, you know what, as a general rule, the world's probably pretty okay. The news is messy, and the news makes it way more messy makes it sound way more messy than it probably is. But joy is a quality of God. Therefore, joy is a quality of you. I am encouraging you to, no matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. Please make room for it every day. Every day. There is no reason why you cannot have joy every day. And I say that even knowing that there are days, like the day that a loved one, a very near and dear loved one, passes away, and maybe that's not a day we feel like having joy. And I get that. But you still can, from the position of the depth of your grief is the depth of your love. And what is it? Don't cry because it's over. Be joyful that it was in the first place. So even in that situation, I still believe that there is room for joy. Okay? There's still room for joy, even in that situation. So there's no excuse not to make room for a little joy every day. And a lot of joy on other days. So, all right. Heartfelt plea there from me. All right. Where was I? I don't know. The rest of the suggestions. Drink plenty do something to engage your mind, do in your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better, your body works better, your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. Get that early in your day bright light. The sun is out today, but there were clouds on the horizon, so I didn't get any direct sunlight, but I was out in the sunshine, muted by the clouds. So, which I definitely feel better when I get a little of that, and I'm talking 5 to 10 minutes. That is it. It is no more. You don't need more than that. The heat's been running a little bit, and I should have brought a glass of water with me. I'm sorry. Yes. So get that early in your day bright light. And if you need more support because it's cloudy or, you live much further north than I do, because I don't live very far north. I live pretty far south. And, like Thursday, they're predicting our weather's going to be ugly. So I will definitely be using the artificial light on Thursday. Please definitely look at sun lamps or seasonal affect disorder lights. At this point, I think you can buy a light bulb that you can just screw into a light that you already have. All right. Okay, wrapping up with my suggestions is to open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. That's kind of what Ursula Gestefeld was getting at. It's like when we close our eyes, we can go to heaven. That's what she's saying. We can close our eyes and go to heaven, but Ernest is reminding us that we can open our eyes and go to heaven because it's a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. It is not a physical place that we have to get to, but can become any place we are if we learn to create that mindset. So, and how do you do that? By working on yourself. Reading sacred literature, listening to amazing music, treating and praying. I just swapped those two words. Treating and praying, doing meditations, doing affirmations, doing all of that. That's how you get there. So, and if you need support, we're here. So, you can always take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice. Look for the good and praise it. Okay? Which is another way of saying count your blessings. Since I'm headed back to, the religion of my childhood here. Now I lay me down to sleep. Count your blessings. Which is another thing that we used to do as small children, is to count our blessings before we went to bed. Yeah, she's onto something. Ursula. Wow. Okay. When we count our blessings, and I like looking for the little blessings because they add up to the big. I can quote Gandalf at you if you'd like me to, about the small act of kindness. The small acts of kindness by ordinary people are what hold back the darkness. Which is not the full quote, but you get the gist of it. Yes, I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd. And proud of it. I've also read, C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe trilogy. And I read Anne McCaffrey, The Dragon Rider Supreme. And I've read a number of Andre Norton as well. Yes, I love my sci-fi. Okay. Which is not what I was talking about. Look for the good and praise it. Volunteer, random acts of service, and volunteer service. That'll help you change a mood. But I'm going to move on. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I commend all of that to you. Particularly the YouTube channels. There is a lot of fantastic fantastic stuff on the YouTube channels. I have read 4 books to you. And this is my 5th, which I'll finish up in April, I think. Including this thing called You. And this thing called You, there's no commentary. I just straight up read the book. I'm thinking about choosing a new one. I just haven't decided which one to do. Because I want one of his shorter ones. And one of his older ones that you may not see very often. Ooh, I need to get that one that was published. Yeah, okay. There's one that was published in 1919, which I bought a reprinted copy of from a printer in India. Yeah, it's interesting. And I think it was co-written by him and his brother, Fenwick. All right. Where was I going? I need to, email info@creativelife.org will get you on the constant contact. That way, you'll know what's going on in the center, even especially when I don't. And the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information you want, i.e. on the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. The Soul Session playlist is the best. It is the best. It's a really good playlist. We get all kinds of speakers talking about all kinds of different subjects with Reverend Jesse, and it's phenomenal. So I would check that out. Okay. Yep. And I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Spend some time in the sunbeam day. There's a sunbeam on the floor that the cats are all dancing in. Literally dancing in. A middle of the week day, we're on the backside of the weekday. My birthday is coming up day. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are godling. All right? Get to know the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of what you have been told. you are, who you have been told you are. Peel back the layers, especially by gender, by religion, by society, by culture, by people that know you, by people that don't know you, by psychology, by sociology. Just peel all that back and get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise you that person is really good and really cool. All right? Try it. You might like it. Okay, beloveds. Whew, deep breath. Onwards. Forward. March. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.